Hey, so listen, 2024 is on the horizon. And if you are catching this soon, you're probably watching a replay. So glad that you're here. Listen, if the topic caught your attention in the least bit, I want to listen, stay put. Okay, I got something for you. I'm going to be sharing 3 ways to prepare for 2024. Um, 2023, like the countdown has begun, right? 12 months for some people has been 12 long months. But if you're listening to my voice right now, especially if you're here with me live, listen, opportunity is upon you. And I don't want you to go into 2024 just any old haphazard kind of way, carrying the residue from 2023, because that is not going to serve you, nor is it going to serve you well. So, lock in with me for just a moment. I'm going to share 3 ways that you can prepare for 2024. If you're here with me live, do me a favor and say, hey, D, in the comments, wherever you may be watching this. If you are catching the replay, do me a favor and drop replay so that I know that you caught the replay, and I'll come back and show you some love. And let's pray my lash doesn't show off because we're on here kind of late tonight. But if it does, just go with me, okay? Because I got some stuff to share with you. So 3 ways to prepare for 2024. Oh, listen and stick around, right? I got something else that I want to share with you. And I'm going to be giving you a little bit more details, but I want to share what I promised to share with you first. So the first thing, and I want you to do these 3 things like in this particular order. So the first thing I want you to do is, if you don't know what your purpose is, begin doing the work to uncover your purpose. Because whatever it is that you do next, right? If you are currently unfulfilled, kind of like jaded in your career, right? Likely an entrepreneur that's still juggling your 9 to 5. You don't have plans to retire from your 9 to 5. Um, you want to do something different. You want to take the leap at some point. It doesn't have to be today or tomorrow, but you know that the present conditions upon which you are experiencing now, you're not built to last in that space. And I'm here to tell you that you're uncomfortable because there is more work for you to do. When it comes to your purpose, the way I view purpose is that our life has an overarching purpose, right? Like an umbrella. In different seasons of our life, we have different purpose assignments. Now, you might be thinking, well, I am, however old you are or young you are now, right? I've never known my purpose. So are you saying that, I haven't been fulfilling my purpose up until now? No, right? Um, Ignorance can be bliss, and I say that with love. We don't know what we don't know, but when we become enlightened and we're made privy to information, we're also accountable, right? And so what I know for a fact is that not only myself, my clients, and those who are attracted to me and my message and the content that I share around living your absolute best life unapologetically, bringing your wildest dreams to life, um, aligning with your purpose. There comes this point in time, a lot of times for us is in our career, and that's what I call a mid-career crisis. When you hit a wall and it's just like, why, who am I? Why am I here? How do I get out of this space or place? Because it is no longer comfortable. It's no longer serving me. I don't feel valued. I feel underwhelmed and overwhelmed at the same time, if that's even a thing, right? I gotta go. But I don't want to go and do just any old thing. I want to do something that makes an impact. I want to do something that brings me joy. I want to do something that gets me out of bed in the morning, like excited about whatever it is that I do in whatever capacity. And depending on where you are on your journey, it may be another job, like right now, right? And there's no judgment. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. I'm not anti 9 to 5. I am on my own personal trajectory, but I know that there are a number of go getters and entrepreneurs that are still juggling a 9 to 5 who want something different, but don't have the clarity nor the confidence to go about doing the thing without regret. Enters Danielle Coach into the chat. And if you've been, I don't know how long I've been on so far, I guess 5 minutes. But if you happen to be new to me and you happen to come across this, I'm Danielle the coach. I'm a certified life and leadership coach. And I help entrepreneurs that are still juggling a 9 to 5 to create their corporate exit strategy, so that they can quit without regret, their way and on their terms. And there's levels to it, right? I meet you where you are, and there is no status quo. This is how you got to do it, right? I have my framework, which is flexible in the sense where my framework is broad, and it's broad enough for you to be able to pick and choose what it is that you want for your life, what you want to do next, gives you the space to breathe and figure it out and put things in place in a way that aligns with your lifestyle. Everybody's lifestyle is different. You may or may not have kids. You may or may not be partnered. You may or may not be married. You may or may not be a caregiver, right? You may or may not work, nights versus days. Everybody's situation is different. And it doesn't matter with my blueprint because you get to choose, and I help you do that in a way that aligns with your purpose so that you can not only be clear about who you are in this season, who you're not, right? But also where you're going and have a fundamental understanding of what it's going to take to get there, especially the next step. Because I know for a fact that a lot of my people, right, that are trying to figure this thing out without me don't even know what the next step is. And if they happen to know, what they lack is the confidence to do something about it. And again, enter Danielle, the coach, in the chat. That's what I do and who I do it for, right? But the first thing in preparation for 2024 is I want to invite you to really begin to sit with purpose. Like, what is your purpose? What is your life's purpose? Why are you here? That is the beginning of what freed me from my 9 to 5 and being a slave to my 6-figure career, like me being a slave to the money, right? And so when I really sat back and began to ask my creator, why am I here? I know it's got to be for a reason. And I want to be clear about it so that I can lean into it. And here's why purpose is important, right? And I want you to do this in the order in which I suggest, is because the second thing that I want you to do to prepare for 2023 is to lighten your load. Let go of what's no longer aligned or may have never been aligned, right? But you weren't thinking about it that way. And again, ignorance is bliss. You don't know what you don't know, so you make certain decisions. But as you begin to do the work to get empowered and in the know and certain and clear about your purpose, things change. Because there are certain people that were never aligned with you and where you're destined and called to go. There are certain activities and behaviors and mindsets that are out of alignment with who you are called and destined and created to be, that you can't take forward, right? And if you do, it's going to be a long, arduous journey because it is the resistance that you don't need, right? It's in the way of where it is that you're trying to go. So begin to get clear on your purpose. Lighten your load by letting go of things that do not align, and maybe even people and relationships, right? That do not align with where it is that you are supposed to go next, with who you are created to be. And yes, that's much easier said than done. And so the task in preparation for 2024, yeah, you want to lighten your load because there's probably some things or some people that you know for a fact are out of alignment, or you will come to know within a short amount of time before the new year even hits, right? And you can begin to make those executive decisions about your life. You get to choose, right? But you also get to choose, alignment or misalignment. You ever driven a car that's out of alignment? You're probably still going to get there, right? But you got to do a little extra work to keep that car going in the direction straight ahead and not veering off to the left or to the right, whichever way the misalignment is pulling you, right? So it's going to may take you a little bit longer. And if it doesn't take you longer, it's going to take a little bit more muscle than necessary if you were moving in a manner that aligns with how you were created and what you were designed to do. Okay. So the big thing with that is getting clear on what it is and who it is that can no longer go, right? That are out of alignment. Getting clear on that, making those executive decisions and actually putting some muscle behind them, yes, it might be a little bit difficult. Yes, it might take some time. But once you are able to identify the things, or the person or people, you're making progress. And I want you to give yourself grace. Again, awareness is everything. And that's 3/4 of the battle. Being courageous enough to do something about your newfound awareness, that's a whole nother situation, right? And that's something that I can absolutely support you with. And that's what I support my clients with doing as well, navigating life's major transitions. Sometimes it's letting go of relationships, right? Sometimes it's letting go of a particular job. Sometimes it's letting go of a career. And what I know is that when you let go of what's no longer serving you, when you let go of what's out of alignment with your purpose, a whole world of opportunity and possibility opens up for you in ways that you never would have imagined. And it almost feels miraculous because it is. Because you are now aligned, and there's a particular ease that comes with moving about life in alignment with your purpose. That's not to say that it comes without challenge, because it is challenging, right? But this is why we were blessed with intellect and brains and knowledge and the ability to problem solve, even if that means enlisting support and accountability to help you roll up another set of arms to roll up sleeves to help you solve a problem. You don't have to necessarily solve it independently, but problems get solved every day in different ways. So when you look at it that way, really getting clear about, or even just asking yourself the question, like, what can't go? What cannot go with me into 2024? And there's levels to that as well. There's mindsets, there's beliefs, there's behaviors, there's habits, there's patterns, there's people, and there's places, to say the least, that cannot go. And so it's up to you to do the work to get clear, right, about your purpose, because then the alignment part becomes even easier. It becomes also even easier to see where you may be misaligned because you're clear on your purpose. Now, the third thing I want you to do is invest in a life coach. I'm gonna let that marinate. Invest in a life coach, especially if you are someone who has been saying, I really need a coach. I've been thinking about a coach. Um, just do it. Just do it. You can't say you don't know one because you are listening to me, however you have found this video, right? Whether you're here with me live or whether you have caught the replay, or maybe someone sent it to you. You can't say that you don't know one. Invest in a life coach. It will change the game. It will help alleviate the weight of having to figure everything out on your own. It will allow you to position yourself with the right support and accountability that will allow you to lean into your big, bold, audacious dreams that defy the status quo, that most people in your sphere of influence, family, friends, co-workers, colleagues, bosses, whomever, that may have an opinion, and maybe even some mentors, maybe that they don't understand because maybe they're not supposed to yet, right? But when you enlist the right support and accountability, it opens up the space for you to, one, exhale, right? And then two, to look at what's possible, not from the lens of fear, not through the lens of limiting beliefs, not through the lens of other people's opinions, but through the lens of purpose and possibility. Like there's nothing at all like it. And I say that from experience, having hired a life coach when I was in your shoes. I mean, if you're still gainfully employed with a 9 to 5, right, but you're also an entrepreneur, I hired a life coach. And for me, I'm gifted in this work to the degree that I was able to figure out what was next and dial into my purpose on my own before I found the life coach. But it's a part of my gift that I soon came to learn. So, why I hired a life coach was for support and accountability to make sure that I did what I said I told myself that I wanted to do and needed to do to free myself from a space and a place and people that were out of alignment with where it is that I was supposed to be going. Like I was supposed to be doing what I'm doing right now, right? When I'm doing it. I believe that. But I also know that the discomfort that I felt was a wake-up call that something else is out there, right? There's something else. There's a new purpose assignment. I'm moving into a different season. And this is where the discomfort is coming into play. It's purpose. And so that was when I had my legit come to Jesus moment because I came asking, why am I here? Why did you create me, right? In such a marvelous way, toot. But like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because like I feel like I'm withering away at my desk every single day. Like this can't be it. This can't be life. I know that there is more to life than this, and I know you didn't create me to show up and feel and move this way, especially after having such a fabulous um and I say fairy tale like career, like with the FBI. There's no way we came all this way and you've opened up all of these doors and I've made all of this change and impact in this organization. And for me to be feeling like this, there's got to be more. And because I was determined to figure it out, here I am. But it was a process and it didn't happen overnight. So I want to encourage you to begin looking into your purpose, right? And you may be asking, um, well, dag, how do I even do that? Like, how do I find my purpose? I'll tell you how I found mine. I looked at the intersection of three things. The first thing is what brings me joy? What makes my heart smile, right? This is all the first thing. Like what brings me joy? What do I love to do? What would I love to do? But it's more of like what do I love to do? That I would do often if I could. And if I got paid for it, oh my gosh, the plot just thickened and the deal just sweetened. What are those things? And just jotting them down over time as things came to me. And I had these moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I do like this. I really like this. Or I always said I wanted to do this. Or, maybe doing something and realizing, recognizing, and feeling the joy in my body. I'm like, oh, let me add that to the list. So the first thing is what brings me joy. The second thing is what are my gifts? What are my natural gifts? My God given gifts. And how I look at that is like, what are the things that people tend to come to me for help with? That, no, I'm sorry. What are the things that I am typically, what are things that I do with ease? Let's put it that way. What are things that I do with ease that most people don't? And because I do it with so much ease, if I am not careful, I will overlook it as a gift. What are those things? And again, let me reiterate, these answers don't always come right when you ask them. You asking yourself the question or questions and creating a space, which I recommend your notepad and your phone because we most times have our phones with us all the time. Having a space to write down those answers as they come to you throughout the day, and they will hit you at the most random times while you're in the midst of doing something else and you have these aha moments and these downloads and these light bulb moments. What are the things that you do with ease that most people don't? You just got to start noticing. Jot those down. And the third thing is, what do you do? What do people come to you for help with? When you really think about it, like what do people tend to come to you for help with? Whether it's family, friends, like what, and write down all the things, right? And so, what I don't want you to do for my type A, high achievers, my creatives, especially my math minded people like me, math major here, think about it from the perspective. Don't try to game it and figure it out and piece things together before you have your list. And your lists are independent. When you first start this process, the lists should be independent of one another. Don't worry about nothing else. What brings me joy? All of these things, period. What are my natural gifts? The things that you do easily that most other people don't, jot those down, period. You're not factoring in anything else. And then what do people tend to come to you for help with? And I don't care if it's basket weaving, tying shoes, run. Let me see. What's something else? Taking pictures. I don't care how unrelated the various things that people tend to come to you for help with are. Jot them all down. Don't judge them because I already know if you're anything like me and the others that I attract in this line of work, we just want to fix the problem. We want to solve the problem. But what I'm telling you is from experience, just trust the process. Now, when you get to a space and you have a number of things, or you've given it some time to let it breathe, and you think you've exhausted those questions and the answers so far, right? Based on what you know, what you've seen, what you've been able to observe, how people are interacting with you now that you're on a mission to find this stuff out. Then that's when you go back and kind of see, like, well, what opportunities are there as you weave and marry the three list? Because at the intersection of those three things is very likely your purpose. And that's exactly how I found this work, in realizing that for me, I'll start with my gifts. Like, I have the gift of listening, and that's a hard one because it's not tangible, but it's powerful. And the only way that I would have been able to realize that is by sitting back and thinking about how I interact with people, how I show up in the world, what people do in response to how I show up. And I realized that people come to me, even in that season before I officially became a coach, or even knew that coaching was a thing. I realized that there was something about me where people would engage with me, and whether they were strangers or people who've known me for years or decades, there was something about me that allowed people to feel a certain level of comfort and vulnerability to tell me all their business. And what really drove this home for me was I was at work and I had started a new position, which made me be uncomfortable. And as I was meeting new people, there were two occasions where two persons on an initial exchange and, getting to know each other, sharing backgrounds and all of the things, but they were super comfortable with telling me their business. And I'm like, what? First of all, I would never. Just first of all, second of all, I'm an introvert, right? So that's like boundaries that's unorthodox for me. But because it was such a contrast in how I would show up, I was able to clearly see, while in the midst of exploring purpose in those three lanes that I gave, that there is something about me that makes people feel comfortable sharing some of the most intimate, personal things about themselves. And I said, I think I'm onto something. And it's a longer story in how I got to the space of like leaning into coaching, but that is how it started for me. And it has to do with noticing. And why that's important is because our purpose is never about us, right? We have a role to play based on how we were divinely created with the gifts that we have that a lot of other people probably don't, right? But our purpose is always about other people. And that's why that third lane that I talked about, like what do people tend to come to you for help with? That's why that part is important. And just because people come to you for help with something doesn't mean that that is the thing, but it can lead into and begin to tell a story and paint a picture because there could be levels to it. And that's a part of the work that I do with my clients and helping them unpack all of that. Because at this point in the game, my clients have over a decade, if not up to upwards of um, decades in the game as career professionals, not new to it, but true to it. They've seen some things, they've experienced a lot of things. And then on the personal front, I mean, like, do I need to even go there? Like, life has probably lifed in more ways than one could have ever imagined up until now. So there's all this lived and professional experience. And what I know to be true is that you're too close to it. You're too close to your own stuff to be able to see it through a fresh lens, right? That's not biased and that's not judgmental. Insert your life coach, okay? Toot. And so if you're having difficulty figuring that out, I just gave you the game, right? This is when you begin to look for the right help to help you get to where you're trying to go and collapse time on that thing a whole lot more than you could or would be able to do on your own. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I didn't hire that life coach that first time, I probably would still be working a 9 to 5. Might not be in that same particular job, but I would probably still be working a 9 to 5 because, or um, I wouldn't have become a coach as soon as I did because I was burnt out. I was frustrated. I was jaded. When I got home at night, I didn't want to do anything else. But I knew I didn't want to show up to sessions with, because pre-pandemic, didn't want to show up to sessions with my coach having not done what I committed to doing the last time we spoke. So that accountability was everything, everything. And it was just the push, just what I needed to go get what I came here for, right? And to follow through on what I said I wanted. Because it's hey, figuring it out is half the battle. But if you don't execute, if you don't do something about it, it's for naught. Now you're sitting on purpose and now you're playing in God's face. So like there's levels to that as well, right? You go through all of these hoops to figure out like what your purpose is and to get clear about like what's next and where he'll have you go and serve and make an impact in the richest ways. And then you don't really follow through because you are amazing at prioritizing everything and everyone else as a go-getter, as a go-to, right? You're the trusted advisor, trusted sibling, trusted son or daughter, trusted employee, trusted leader. Everybody loves you because you always come through. You always follow through. You always get it done. You're super dependable. But when it comes to you, there's not much gas left in the tank. And this is where I come in and advocate for you because you matter, your dreams matter, and your purpose is non negotiable. It's just non negotiable. You got work to do, and I got your back, right? So I hope that that was helpful to you. I hope that you're thinking about the new year, what it has in store in different ways. If you came through, you're watching the replay, or you came in and you hear it be live and you missed anything from the beginning, I really do encourage you to go back and watch this from the beginning so you can catch all of it. Because my goal for you and everybody connected to me is that for all that's in store for 2024, that we are in prime position with open arms to receive it. Like we're not getting ready, we're already in the posture of ready. Like may not have known exactly what was coming, but we're anticipating greater. And so that posturing and like getting rid of stuff, purging stuff, lightening your load, right? Not taking things into 2024 that are in the way, that are going to be a distraction, that are holding you back, that are holding you down, right? Because we're making room. It's no different than cleaning out a closet, right? You're getting rid of some old pieces, you're making room. Who knows when you'll find the new pieces because now you're shopping with intent, right? You're getting statement pieces and you got room in the closet because you got things to do. So my goal is for all of us to walk into 2024 empowered, encouraged, um, confident that the clarity is coming because you're doing something different to get something different, especially when you enlist the right support and accountability. And so, if you haven't heard, I am inviting you to Momentum 2024. It's an opportunity for you to work closely with me throughout the month of January, where we'll spend the month getting you clear about what you want for the year. And we're going to do that privately, just you and I, via a private momentum kickoff session, right? We're going to get pull back some layers. I'm going to help you in some of the ways that I just talked through, right, in this particular video. We're going to get clear on like what you want. We're going to map out a custom strategy for you for 2024. And again, like I don't believe in, nor do I do the cookie cutter business. It's your life, it's your purpose, it's your goals, it's your way, and it's on your terms. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to support you and also offer another set of ears and eyes, right, on what you got going on to help you make the most powerful, thoughtful, clear, and confident decisions about what's next for you. And most of all, unapologetically, because you're getting ready to shake some things up, right? You're getting ready to shake some things up. And as shift happens, it could be uncomfortable. It could feel hard, right? It could be scary. You will be up against other people's opinions that you asked and those that you did not solicit. And if you are not prominently and powerfully positioned, they can take you out and it can set you back. And so I want to make sure that you are wrapped in a space where you are encouraged, you are motivated, you are inspired, you are empowered to do what it is that you came here for, right? In alignment with your purpose. So we'll meet bi-weekly to keep you accountable, and I'll be able to coach you up as necessary during those bi-weekly sessions. You're going to put your strategy in motion right away. It's none of this New Year's resolutions. Oh, this is what I want my year to look like. I'll get started in 6 months. None of that business. Like we're putting your strategy in motion right away. It doesn't mean that you have to solve everything that's on your list right away. It means that you're going to be taking steps one at a time, one at a time to move the needle in the direction of where it is that you've decided that you wanted to go when we have our private momentum kickoff session. Okay. We're going to be pushing past those limited beliefs. We're going to be pushing past those limiting beliefs and behaviors that have kept you stuck and in places and spaces that you've outgrown, that are no longer aligned. We're going to be getting you clear about your purpose. I'm going to be allowing you to experience the power of life coaching for yourself and no longer through the lens of either other people or your imagination, right? No, you get to live it, you get to experience it, and you get to grow and benefit from it in the way that I have and also my clients. Um, you're going to be able to do in 30 days or less what you haven't been able to do in the last 6 months, maybe even the last year. Listen, ask me how I know. Okay. We have all of the thoughts and ruminations that we want to have, right? But when we don't execute and put some motion behind it, they're just dreams. But we get to bring our wildest dreams to life. And most importantly, you're going to start the year how you want to finish it. I'm an advocate of that. It's none of this waiting to the last minute, run and catch up because I sat on my dreams and my purpose all year. No, we're hitting 2024 out the gate. Like catch me if you can type of energy. Like that's what Momentum 2024 is about. And as a bonus, I'm inviting you, you'll have access to my bi-weekly winner circle call. It's clients only. But because you're enrolled in Momentum 2024, I'm giving you access to that. So what does that mean? It means that you will actually have access to me every single week in January. We're going to have your momentum kickoff session on that first week of the new year. Then we will have your there's a winner circle call the following week, which you'll be invited to. The week after that will be your bi-weekly call that comes with momentum. The week after that is the momentum session. I'm sorry, is the winner circle call. And then the week after that is your second bi-weekly call that comes with momentum. So yeah, I'm not playing with it. And I want to make sure that you aren't either. And that's why I have designed momentum in the way that I have, because I know what it takes, especially when you're beginning to chip away at those limiting beliefs, when you are working on getting the clarity that you've been missing. It takes time, but it also takes making sure that you don't get lost in the sauce or deflated or distracted by whatever else may happen. Like in this space, like I'm your advocate. In this space, I got your back. In this space, you're the prize, right? You matter. And so you may be prioritizing everybody else, but I'm prioritizing you. And I'm ensuring that you are doing that too, even if it's for a season, right? If you want some things to change in a major way, you've got to do something different. You've got to make different decisions. And a lot of them may scare you. But I'm here to tell you, if they are purpose driven and purpose aligned, scared or not, it will change your life and somebody's lives as well. Because purpose isn't about us. Purpose is about others that we are here to serve with our gifts. We just get to enjoy and find joy in doing the things that we were created and divinely gifted to serve others with. Um, so I'm taking 10 go-getters on this journey with me next month. One person is already locked in, so I got 9 seats left. You can, if you're on Facebook, the link is in the caption. I just dropped it in the chat as well. I think I did. Oh, I can't post here for whatever reason. Oh, yes, I can. Maybe I can. Anyway, if you're on Facebook, it is in, yeah, it just popped up in the comments. It's also in the caption. If you're watching this on IG, the link to Momentum is in my bio. If you have questions, send me a DM. I want to make sure you're not moving forward, not I want to make sure that you are not moving forward, not moving forward. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Because you have questions or concerns or reservations. I want to be able to give you the answers that you need in order for you to make the most informed decision for you. But I'm here for you. In the spirit of just hitting my 4-year business anniversary on 12/12, this offer is 12/12, $1,212. Yeah, and you'll see how much you aren't paying when you look at the value that I have laid out for you on the Momentum page, which is linked either in my bio on Instagram or in the caption or comments on Facebook. And so I'm just being transparent about that. It's time to finally invest in yourself. It's time to work with and enlist the help and support and accountability of a life coach, whether you've done it before or not. 2024 is yours for the taking, right? I'm rooting for you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited about serving and supporting you and helping you to break up some of those, because it won't be everything, right? Unless we work together in a longer capacity. But I'm for sure looking forward to helping you break away at those limiting beliefs, right? Chin checking your inner critic, because those inner critics are a pain in the behind. But let me tell you something, they got another thing coming, especially when you enlist the right support and accountability. I had the shift experience the other night, and working with the client who showed up, there were some things that she had been believing, but she had just told me something different, right? And so when we were getting into the thick of it, I was able to help her realize the truths that were being hidden and buried based on the lies her inner critic was telling her. And with the flip of a switch, with me leaning in, with me doing what it is I'm gifted to do, with my active listening, right? My gift in service of other people, there was a shift. The shift experience is designed a certain way, right? And listen, shift happens with Danielle, the coach. So there's more where that came from, a whole lot more where that came from when you are engaged in a coaching experience with me, regardless of what type, right? So yeah, listen, Momentum 2024, we're locking in. There's 9 spots available. I would love to serve you. I would love to see 2024 be a year where some of your wildest dreams come true way sooner than you could have ever imagined. But I'm here to tell you, it starts with you. Like Arsha Jones says, nobody's coming to save you, right? I am making this available to you. You got to say yes to you. You got to say yes to your future. You got to say yes to your dreams. You got to say later for being unfulfilled, later for being jaded, later for wallowing, later for the pity party. Um, because you got work to do. You have work that you want to do. You have places that you want to go. And you know that you know that you know that there is more to life than what you're currently experiencing. I don't care what it is, right? There, if you are still here, if you are still breathing, if you are still living, I I don't want to discount how hard it may be in this season, but I am telling you that there is hope. And you are one decision away from shifting everything. And then there's a myriad of aligned decisions after that that will take you to this place that right now is only a dream. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna put a pin in that. If this served you in any way, shape, or form, do me a favor, drop a comment, let me know, share this with somebody that you feel needs to see this. If you have questions about Momentum 2024, shoot me a DM wherever you may be seeing this on whatever platform. It'll be a pleasure to answer your questions and get you straight, and even greater pleasure to serve you on your journey, especially into mapping out 2024 and making it be the year that your wildest dreams came true. Let me see. All right, Facebook. I'll see you. Let's see.